Hello, everyone. We're back. Apologies for that. For our walk, and our neighbors wanted to talk, so we had to end the live stream. I wish we could have paused it like you can when you're just on one stream. But we're back. We are back. We didn't want to just leave you hanging there with that mic being off, like for an awkward, 10 minutes. So we're 6 to 8 weeks now in the discussion with Adriel. He's finally putting on weight. He's throwing his stuffed animal off the end of the cart. It is getting dark out. Don't worry, we have special lights on the stroller. The cars can see us. So yeah, no, 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, at that point, I'm pretty much taking over at the 8 week mark. Tina's going back to work. And that was hard on you, right? It was hard on Mama to go back to work.
It's still hot for me when I'm getting some light on me.
Oh, Tina, we should go get one of those white lights and angle it here for you.
I'm getting some light on me. So it's pretty hot still going back to work right now. Especially in the mornings when I'm leaving, it's really hot. I will tell you the truth. I just look at him sleeping on his deck normally.
Yeah, because after he sleeps through the night, and he finally gets like 7 a.m., we'll just kind of chill out on the bed for like another hour. He kind of zones out, relaxes. We have this little routine in the morning. Him and I, we get to hang out before he has breakfast and watches the other truck. But, it was definitely hard on Tina to go back to work, and I know it's going to be hard on me once I go back too. And he'll be in daycare then. A lot of people are barbecuing tonight. This smells good.
Weather is actually good.
Yeah, I know the rest of the country is baking and broiling, and up here we're like 75, 80. It is humid though.
Yeah.
But it's more of a mild humid. It's not as bad as it can be, or it feels like a swamp. It's nice. It's like 75 out right now. Slight humidity, slight breeze. It's really, really nice out. Surprisingly, there's almost no bugs out.
Yeah, and we are losing the daylight gradually.
Faster, yep. 2 to 3 minutes each day, I think is what the average is. I think it goes up and down depending on what day and all that. But yeah, no. Normally at this time, it'd still almost be completely light.
Yeah. Like just today when I told my mom we're going for a walk because Adriel like to go for his walk around 8 p.m.
Yes.
My mom was like, "Is it not late? Why are you guys going out at that time?" I'm like, "No, there's still daylight." So.
Oh, geez. Even sometimes when you get up, like if you were in like Montana, which is like one of the northernmost states besides Alaska, and it's 10 o'clock at night or 4 o'clock in the morning, you're still getting light.
Yeah.
Not bright light, but just barely over like that ambient light.
Yeah, I actually don't like this time of the year, especially when I was in school. I didn't like it at all.
Hello, Winnie and family. Hello. Thank you. We're talking about Adriel's first 3 months. We're on the 6 to 8 week mark now.
Yeah, next week.
There is another video. We had to stop this. Some neighbors stopped us to talk. I didn't want to leave it muted for 10 minutes. So
yeah. Next week he will be like 4 months. So we're just talking about our journey. We're actually going for a walk this evening.
We like to do 4 laps. Each lap around our complex is about literally I think a half mile. So when we're not on video, we'll power walk or do a light jog through it and just go. So
yeah, as I was saying, I really don't like this time of the year, especially when I was in school. I really didn't like it because it makes me like not feel like sleeping because of the daylight when it's evening, but then also in the morning you have to wake up so early because of the daylight.
So what you're saying is
it distracts my sleeping schedule.
So what you're saying is you want winter hours but with summer heat.
Yeah, just like when it's 6 or 7 p.m. going, it's normal that it should be like
oh yeah, evening walks are amazing. Sorry, we have this thing kind of rigged up to our stroller. I don't have an actual mount yet.
Yeah, we have it
kind of held.
Held to Australia, so that's
I
why it's
I need to
kind of
get a
shaky.
better mount.
Yeah.
But I like he's going for the front of his stroller so he can broadcast back and catch all of us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's pretty hard because I am studying, and so that one distracts me sleep. It's nice that okay, 6 p.m. going, you know that it's going to be dark, so it tells your brain you're supposed to go to sleep, right? And then in the morning you have the daylight. At the right time, it tells your brain you're supposed to wake up. Although I'm a morning person, but it's kind of changing. What did you say?
Oh, you don't have walkways? Yeah, we had to upgrade to more because we have, we walk in the actual street of this complex. Uh, we had to get a car with, sorry, not a car, a stroller with
Yeah.
pneumatic tires, air like a regular bicycle. If we brought his regular stroller out, it would bump him like crazy. It's not smooth.
Yeah.
This is a very rough asphalt. So let's continue on with the 6 to 8 weeks. So you're going back to work at the 8 week mark.
Mhm.
I'm taking over, and I've been taking over since what, end of April?
I remember
Uh,
2025,
yeah.
May 2025.
So now I took my leave April 21st. About a couple days there to get Tina some caught up sleep before she goes. Um, but with him and I, it's actually been pretty good. We're on a pretty good routine. At the 10 week mark, he actually slept like 6 to 8 hours. So we can put him down at 10. Occasionally, he'll wake up at 4 for literally a top off on food and a
And
diaper
diaper
change,
change.
and he goes back out till 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's
he's
on a
getting better.
really good schedule. Although when we both go back, he's gonna be on that babysitting schedule where he's at the babysitter by 7.
Yeah, and then so we have to change our schedule again. And now I feel like I'm now catching up on sleep since I got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So most of you know that pregnancy, throughout the pregnancy journey, you don't get to sleep as you want to, especially when your bump,
Let me put his blanket on real quick.
when your stomach becomes
Gotcha.
big.
Got your blankie.
Oh, Winnie and family. Winnie is asking, what is your wife's doctor in? Oh, okay. So it's agriculture, biosystems, and mechanical engineering. So I have a PhD in agriculture, biosystems, and mechanical engineering.
You also have your wastewater under your master's, right?
So my master's was in environmental engineering and ecological restoration. So yeah. But I normally don't talk about that on the Facebook.
Tina is very quiet about that one so far. I'm sure she'll be talking more. But she wants to be known, for all of you watching, she wants to be called Dr. T, T-E-E. So maybe I can get her to start a channel called Dr. T where she talks about stuff related to her career field and maybe
Yeah,
go something
I
along
have
those routes.
plans on doing that on my Facebook page, and then but I normally do a lot of my professional stuff on LinkedIn. I don't do more professional stuff on Facebook. So. But then I'm going to try and then do more professional stuff on my Facebook, my
And
personal
then you
Facebook
can help
channel.
people too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so 6 to 8 week mark. So Tina's went back to work by 8 weeks. I've taken over. And I'll say like 10 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks. Pretty steady. I mean, he was putting on a lot of weight, no real changes. We were going through clothes like crazy. I mean,
Yeah, he's getting weight very
he
fast.
is he will be 4 months next week, okay? And he's already in 6 to 9 month onesies.
Come on, sometimes I feel like I'm missing a lot in his life because I go to work early and I come back home late, sometimes 5 or p.m. Sometimes I leave like 6 and come back 5 p.m. And it's really, it's not fun. But I guess that is part of life.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. Thank
You,
you.
Winnie. Thank you.
She definitely put in a lot of work on it, but
And you help me also. You
well,
cook.
yeah,
You cook a lot.
we'll have to put in a separate video on that, but we could talk for a whole 2, 3 hours on literally from us meeting till you graduating on just what you had to do with school and I had to do with work to support us. And
Yeah.
good thing we didn't have a baby then.
Yeah.
That would have been impossible. But so 10 to 12 weeks, he actually, I was obviously home alone with him, so it was just me. And I put him down on his little playpen, and I come back and I noticed that he rolled over. At 10 to 12 weeks, he rolled over for the first time. We would do tummy time. I'd sit there with him. He kind of worked on his muscles, so I put him, face down on his little mat there. And I walk back over and I look. I'm like, why are you on your back? I thought I put you down on your tummy. And of course, with me standing there watching him, he won't. No, and if you set up a camera, oh yeah, that's this other thing. From 6 weeks old, whenever these cameras come on, he'll watch them. Like he'll be laughing, doing something, but if he sees that camera, he gets very serious. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos. He gets very serious. It's like he knows that there's something different. He does recognize monitors, screens, and phones. Whenever he has to go see his doctor, he'll look at their computer monitor. Yeah. Just like, oh, is my TV show on there? No, so he rolled over for the first time then, like 10 to 12 weeks, which kind of shocked us. I kept second guessing myself, and it wasn't until the next day or 2 days later when I put him down again, and I was in the kitchen grabbing something. I looked over, and what he was doing is he turned his head, and he'd bring his one back leg over to catch his little play set. He'd pull himself over. So he was learning that whole hip swing thing. My daughter outgrows clothes so fast too. Oh my gosh. We were talking in this last little quick live stream before we dropped out that we have a local group, a couple thousand people in it, for local residents called Buy Nothing. So anything you put in there or you request for, it has to be free. It is the group's rules. So we got bags. I mean, large garbage bag size of clothes right before he was born, actually. I think it was like 2 weeks before he was born. And then we just redonate that stuff back out to these same group members. Toys, play sets, and you try and take care of your stuff so you can then just redonate it back out. So every journey has a story. My husband also supports my doctoral journey financially. Congratulations. You rock for supporting my... Thank you. What is your doctoral? And please let us know. What was your bachelor's, master's? Like, where are you going with your educational and career goals? So let's continue here. Yeah, so the Buy Nothing group is really cool. He's rolled over now at the 10 to 12 week mark. He also pushes himself up. Yeah. And then he also does like little baby push-ups. He hasn't completely rolled from back to stomach yet. He's gotten halfway. He's kind of got the hips engaged. He can scoot himself in a complete circle, but he can't really push himself forward yet. He doesn't really have that coordination down. Let's check on him. But if I put my hands up against his feet, he has a lot of power with those legs. He can push himself straight really easy. Give him his binky. Spit it out. Yeah, so now approaching the last 28 days, going on 4 months here, is he's made a lot of changes. He's really started responding to his name now. We started his walks, we started his walks at what age? 2.5 months? 3 months, yeah. And he's gotten to a point now where if we are not going down the stairs by 8 o'clock, he will start screaming. Y'all look like, he'll be fed, he'll be changed. He'll try to turn on a TV show. No. When you pick him up and start walking down those stairs, he will know that we're going for our evening walk. So he stopped screaming. I think Tina had a short video. He'll start smiling, laughing. So he's starting to almost like clock watch, his own little internal clock. I know at this time I do this, at that time I do that. He's responding to names. And then the other thing is we have a very outwardly social baby.
Yeah.
He's not afraid of people. He's curious and cautious. Like he won't necessarily smile at them the first time, but
He was.
when he gets comfortable with them, sees them a couple times, you'll be his best friend. Let's see what was said here. Love you, sweetheart, from Lung.
No,
Thank you. And so, bachelor's in business administration, master's in human resources, and currently a doctoral in strategy leadership.
that
I might
is
be talking to
we'll
you.
talk to you.
Oh yeah. My company pays for schooling, and so I'm looking at business leadership stuff like that. But congratulations,
Yeah,
though.
that is awesome.
How much further do you have with your PhD, and do you have any career goals, companies you want to work for, where you want to go with it, personal business? But so he has been watching the clock. He starts to get excited when Mama comes home. He knows when Mama comes home. But even now, as I said in the other video, he's still very much a dad's boy. I mean, just the other night, Tina tried holding him to put him to sleep, and he was literally banging his head against her, kind of hitting her, kicking, throwing a fit because he knows that he didn't want Mama.
Yeah.
The second I pick him up after him throwing a fit for 20 minutes, I'm like, all right, we're going to sleep. I put him on me and out like a rock within 30 seconds. I mean, completely out.
Yeah, but I think right now he's kind of used to like he looks forward to seeing me after work. So whenever I come home, he's sleeping. I just go over to him and kiss his forehead, and he'll know that I'm home. He'll just open his eyes a little bit.
Try the binky again. We're almost done, buddy. We have a couple more laps. Come on. You know, if we don't get at least 3 laps and you throw a fit. We're gonna lay the seat back. Ready? There. Lay the seat back. He likes to fall asleep on his walks too. So the seat goes in many different positions. He is strapped into it. And then our cart has lights on it so we can safely walk at night. I have red on the back, goes along the sides, on the front, custom LED bike lights. I just kind of adhered to it, and I just recharge them every couple of days. But no, yeah. So Adriels definitely has his routine down. Let's see here. I like to run a business, open a private school in Cameroon.
That is awesome.
I work for corporate America as an executive while teaching too. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, if
It's a come
we
together.
were reading like tips for people that how they're successful with their investments and so on and so forth. With their primary source of income next to their private business is still working for another company. That's where you get your medical benefits, a guaranteed paycheck, and then you build upon that with outside ventures. Of course, you have to put extra time into, but having that primary, your number one source of income until you get totally financially sound should always be a dedicated career. So that's what I'm doing now. I'll definitely be with them. Great medical benefits, great vacation time. I have my 3 months of parental leave, which doesn't count towards my vacation time, which is nice. But yeah, no, you always want to have that primary source of income to support your family while doing it. But definitely congratulations, and hope to see lots of success there and see updates as the time goes on. And hey, I don't know what your private business may be outside of the private school, if you have like another one, if you sell products, let us know.
It's a kind of take time for all of it to come together, as I have realized. So I have a non-profit back in Ghana that I'm hoping that I'm going to start it here in the US, but then I have to be on hold right now because of Adriel and then my new job. I just have to try and then settle. Like initially, I was so worried that I'm not doing anything with my nonprofit. I'm not doing anything with my new plans. But then talking to people and then thinking about it, I have realized that it's going to take time for me to really come back to doing what I love most. But now I need to have time for my family. So for me, even if it's going to take me 5 years to really plan to come back to doing what I love most, I'm just totally down for it. But I just have to put in time every now and then, planning towards that. So yeah, it will really take time for you to come back throughout all these things. Like sometimes you look around you, you think, okay, this person is my colleague, but he or she is doing so well than me. But then what I've come to believe and realize is that everyone has their path. Everyone has a way of getting to their destination. You don't have to be necessarily be at the same stage with your friend. I saw a video that spoke a lot to me. It was more about like an example is Trump and Obama. Obama became president, I think at 40 or something. But then Trump became president around 70, right?
And then Biden, I think, isn't he the oldest? I think.
Yeah.
So I
So,
mean, everyone's going to progress differently in their goals in their life at different rates.
yeah. Initially, I was so worried about it, but then I have come to understand it, and now my primary focus now is my family. I know people have been reaching out to me about my nonprofit and then about my community service. So when I talk about community service, kind of building drinking water wells for villages in
And you
Ghana.
built too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But then I cannot do it right now because I need more time in fundraising and everything, and I can't do it right
And
now. So
they're definitely expensive. I mean, one of our goals was, let's say we become really big on social media, we can
yeah,
make good profit. We want to take at least half of that profit and put it towards that nonprofit.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
not trying to live off this. We're literally trying to do projects that,
Yeah,
that are actually helping people.
yeah, one of our main reasons of creating this our social media platforms is being able to make money out of it to help communities in need. Like we know there are a lot of communities out there who need help, especially drinking water. I'm kind of biased towards drinking water because my research in school was more on wastewater management. And there are a lot of people out there who need drinking water very, very badly. So if we are able to, if we can help, currently we are both working in companies and it will be difficult for us to use our money to do that currently because we are just coming up, we are just a growing family, and it will be very difficult. Like if there is an adage or a proverb that you cannot give from an empty barrel. Currently, we see ourselves as like empty barrel, really struggling to help ourselves, help our family. So if we are able to get support from these social media pages, then we will be able to do what we can.
So another message: life is never a race. Moreover, it's a freeway, and overtaking is allowed. Take your time, and you'll get there. Exactly. If you can catch an edge and be successful at it, go for it. If not, then continue on your path. But when you were talking, I was thinking about some of the things we've learned in the first 3 months, and it's not just about Adriel, but involves Adriel, is childcare.
Yeah.
When you find out you are pregnant, or if you start planning to get pregnant, you got to start looking for childcare. Here in Minneapolis, you have to readjust the binky. Here in Minneapolis, and I'm sure it's going to be everywhere, childcare is very expensive for one infant because they charge more for infants because of the legalities of licensing and the adult to child ratio. Fewer infants can only be with one adult, where more school age children can be with one adult. So for Adriel, per month is 500. No, not per month. Per week. 500 to 550 American US dollars per week. And we're like, that's $2,000 to $2,200 a month. We can't afford that. That's a lot of money. But we got fortunate, very fortunate, that we were referred out to a private daycare.
Yeah,
And it was her last time taking an infant. She's been doing it for 37 years, multiple generations of families. And he will be her last infant.
Yeah.
and she only charges us, I'll just say it, $250 per week. That's only 1,000 a month. We can do that.
Yeah.
But even that's
That
expensive.
is expensive.
I
It's
mean,
very expensive.
some families can't even afford a couple $100 a month for childcare. So what happens? Let's say you have two parents. A lot of times one parent has to stop working, which drastically impacts the money coming in to support the family, and then the other parent has to really work and work overtime and just burn out on it.
Yeah. Like this.
So she said childcare is robbery, and he made cost the parents. Yes, I know certain states, if you're a low income, will offer free or subsidized. This is in America. We'll head home, buddy. We're almost there. We offer free or subsidized childcare, but that's your gross income. That's not what you actually bring home. So if, let's say, Tina and I are over by $2 on our gross income, not what we bring home, we don't qualify for anything. So I mean, I think there definitely needs to be. I mean, they want more people to work, and with people working, they need childcare at all income levels.
It's okay.
Obviously, if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, you may not need help with it. But even a family making 100,000, let's say, you're losing almost half of that to taxes, deductions, medical insurance, copays, and that doesn't even count your other bills. They don't factor in your rent, your utilities, any bills you're paying on, your food costs. They don't take any of that into consideration. All right, lower the baby. There we go. We're turning.
You have to get up.
Well, we're turning home.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, yeah, childcare is a complete robbery. In our community here, we're gonna have like a community event day coming with all people in this complex, and one of the questions is who needs childcare and who wants to provide childcare. Yeah, keep it local, keep it cheaper. Here.
It's okay.
So Tina, this is for you.
Uh-huh.
You will get to make drinking water for the citizens of Ghana. I pray to feed Africans beyond the borders of Cameroon. Tina?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. I guess I should hold him.
He's good. He wanted Dada to put in the binky. We're almost there. Come on. We are 100 feet away. So Tina.
Yeah.
So she said that you will make drinking water available for the citizens of Ghana. You're going to do it. And I pray to feed beyond the borders of Cameroon.
Yeah, me too. Like for my non-profit, I don't want it to be in only Ghana. I just want it to be in other parts of Africa. So hopefully I can get representatives in other parts of Africa to join my non-profit. It's for teenagers, mentoring teenagers. So
yeah, so she has her mentorship one, and she has her water well one, and we'll talk about in another live stream. Is that's what her and I were talking about? Is when she met me, is do you want to support me in this? I said, of course.
Yeah.
But you can keep talking and get the garage.
Yeah, one of the questions I asked Chris when we met was that, hey, I'm into non-profits. I'm into helping people, community service. So are you ready for this? Will you be willing to support me? If not, I think we cannot go. We shouldn't bother ourselves with this relationship. So
but I'm glad. We can keep talking. We're home now. Look, this. We gave us 2 seconds here to get him out. You want to keep talking? I'll just take him out.
So I'm just really glad he agreed to support my non-profit. So that was one of the things I was looking for in a man, like someone who would be willing to support me with my community service. So I'm glad I got that from him. So yeah, so
the first 3 months of age, I mean, I'll continue this upstairs really quick. We just got to get everything upstairs. That's that.
I'm going to go inside now. It's dark over here.
Let's go for a walk with you holding me.
So Winnie said, please never let anyone make you both feel like you are behind in life. Trust your instincts, follow your heart, and God will handle the rest. Yes, like that's what I also believe in. Like, especially, coming from an African home, we have our culture that you're supposed to take care of your parents. Like, they take care of you to grow and become successful, and you're also supposed to take care of them when they have grown. Yeah. But then I remember I was talking to my dad about it. I'm like, I'm really sorry I've not been able to do something for you guys as planned. And my dad was like, seriously? Are you broke it? Good job.
It's perfectly healed.
My dad was like, I don't need you to be thinking about this thing right now. You have a child right after school, right after PhD. And that is the most thing I'm really grateful to God for.
You can buy his BMW later.
So like that is what I'm really grateful to God for. I'm like, so I was just worrying myself, thinking about how I'm going to do something for my parents, and I think I should have talked to my dad early about it. So one of the things I'm really grateful for in life is having my parents. I feel like they are really supportive and they've been really understandable to me. Like, for my parents, I really don't know how I'm going to appreciate them. All I ask is long life for them every time.
So, apologies if I mess up your name, Lum or Loom. I don't know.
Emanuela.
Yeah, Emanuela. And it's a blessing to care for our parents. Very true. So God bless you when you have the means.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess to kind of wrap up the discussion here, which we can continue with other stuff on if you guys want, but to wrap up the topic for the discussion, the first 3 months is we're now going into what I like to call the second phase, the second 3 months, the second quarter here. And I can guarantee by the end of that review, he's going to be rolling over, crawling. He already shows ambition to want to crawl. I kind of help him learn the motion. He's been picking it up. He doesn't really coordinate them. Only do what you can, and your parents will always understand. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Which I'll come back to that in a minute. But no, so with him recognizing us now at the 3 month mark, recognizing his name, really being a clock watcher. He likes breakfast at a certain time, lunch, dinner, and of course the in between bottle. But he knows that during his breakfast, lunch, and dinner, he'll get 15, 20. I mean, if it's a good night, and you might even get up to 30 minutes with Leo the truck or whatever he wants to watch. And that's it. And he knows that. He doesn't beg for it, doesn't ask for it. He knows at certain times we have an arrangement while he's at home. I'm sure that'll change as time goes on. But he likes to go from that, and then we'll take him down to his little activity center down here, the play center. We have plenty of padding. I actually want to get some specialty pads for the floor. Yeah, hardwood floors. Yes. Oh yeah, he bangs his feet on that, like just trying to kick around and play. I'm so sure if you may have seen the picture where he dropped the playset on top of himself. That was funny. He kicked out one of the legs. The thing doesn't weigh. It weighs as much as like a piece of paper.
Yeah. I think they make it that way not to hurt the babies. So.
Yes. They don't put any. They put no spikes on it.
He demolished it. I'm like, you have been watching Leo the truck show.
He's been watching the engineering show too much.
Yes, the truck built stuff, but how come you are demolishing stuff? So, yeah.
So I think our next quarter through 3 months we'll be back to work. Both of us. You're gonna have to adjust the daycare. We'll be going there from 7 and on the latest day it's till 5:30.
Yeah.
My schedule's completely whacked. I won't go into details, but I'm a salaried manager somewhere, and yeah, I can be in at 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sometimes it's a 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or I could be in, from 12 p.m. till midnight if something calls for it. And it's random schedule. It could be 5 to 3 one day. I'll get off at 3 next day. Okay, now you're in from 12 to 10. Cool. oh, you got off at 10, but you didn't leave the building till 11 o'clock at night, but we need you back at 7 a.m. So, I mean, my schedule's completely whacked. On days when I can drop them off and can pick them up, I'll do that. But the babysitter is pretty excited to have her last infant. She was okay with him being there for like a 10-hour day. And it's a private place, which is nice. And she has excellent reviews. We already did a little drop-by tour, so drop by anytime. Surprised we already did that. Yeah, the kids really like him. They're all well-behaved kids. These are all good kids. But the infants are still separate. You know, she has safety. The infants are in their own room when they rest. No one can go in there. When they're out, she's always supervising them. She has a full education plan. It's a really good program. She's been it for 37 years. No complaints on record at all. Nothing.
We are praying and hoping that it will be good for Adriel and us.
Oh yeah. But so that's in Adriel. But to transition to back to your question, which was only do what you can to, you know, when you can to help your parents. We're not going to worry about that comment there. I'm not erase that. My apologies, folks. So no, only doing what you can for your parents. So I'm sure a few of you may have heard, but Starlink, their internet service, is pretty much launched now worldwide. It's nowhere near the coverages and have all the satellites up, but they're expanding month after month. So I know that most of the greater area of Accra, you can get satellite-based internet now. And again, they're planning to have it worldwide within years. Satellite-based internet, high speed, like equivalent to 4 and 5G on the American cell phones, or a really good landline. And it all be satellite-based. You set up your equipment in your house, and then you can broadcast internet and Wi-Fi to your business or home. And so I know for a home package, $600 as a one-time fee to buy the equipment. It means it's very expensive. The equipment has to establish a connection with a satellite. And then your monthly fee is like $100 a month is all. So I mean, people that are paying, you know, sometimes $100 every couple of days or $100 a week for their internet on their phones, I mean, this will be a huge saver for them. Or if you, let's say you live in a apartment building and all of you going to get their business package stuff, which is 2,500 American dollars as a one-time fee, and again, $100 a month. If everybody chips in, let's say you have 10 people in your little apartment building, everybody chips in, you all save up. Well, now that the building would share one internet, one big signal for that building. What we want to do for her mom's place is get one for her mom's home. Her mom's home is situated directly above their business, which is nice. So we can have one internet for both. You know, and I think in the long run, it's going to bring internet to communities that obviously can't get it or are just outrageously charged, kind of like childcare here, for internet. I think it's ridiculous how much they charge in Africa for any Americans or anybody that's not ever been to Africa watching this. What we pay a month, I'll say we pay $75 a month, and I get 1 gig internet. That's my speed with unlimited data. Unlimited. I could download someone's entire cell phone completely loaded in minutes. That's how fast the internet is here. They don't have that in Africa. In some areas, they're still on dial-up that crashes. And here in areas that have high-speed internet, they're charged per data. It's not even unlimited for landlines. And then cell phones, you have to pay as you use it, and you can spend hundreds of dollars a month, American dollars a month. This is off topic, but I would love to hear your love story and how you met.
We have a video for it.
But let's just tell because it's probably been buried. It's an old video. We have to do a new update on it.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. You can finish with the internet one and then.
So with the internet one, just to wrap this up really quick, is for people that want to do businesses like yourself, or you want to start, you know, a food bank in Cameroon, which is a wonderful thing. I mean, what if it's a really remote village? They also have what they call the RV package, recreational vehicle, you know, those like campers. You would attach it to it, and wherever you go, you would get internet. So if you're going from village to village, your internet goes with you. So even if the village doesn't have something yet, you can bring it with you. So while you're there, if people want to check their email, do stuff, it allows options. I believe as long as the system is not abused by the creators of it and the users, it could literally bring global internet for an affordable rate. So that's enough of that. So how we met, Tina. You want to tell them?
No, you say
the love story. Come on, we'll sing it together. You can tell it better. So we met in Butte, Montana. You were just done with your
done school
master's.
and
Yeah.
then working.
So we were in Butte, Montana, little town in Montana. Well, not really little, but it's not a major city by any means.
Applicants choose from their citizens law internet program
Oh
is
yeah,
it is
I've heard about it.
daylight
They even
robbery.
have laws saying we have to charge per rate, blah blah blah. Well, I'm glad that Starlink and all that found a way around that. And was it because I believe Ghana and Congo were the last two. Ghana, Congo, and South Africa were the last three countries they had to talk to about allowing internet for them to get the entire continent. But no, he wants over 5,000 satellites in orbit. This is done just for internet, so to be true
Yeah,
global
we are
connectivity.
really hoping it works out.
And what's nice about that is when you travel with your cell phone from country to country, you'd have to have a different SIM card for cell signal, but for internet, for data, it'd be device locked. You can go anywhere. So you could use WhatsApp, wouldn't have to get a SIM card in that country to access their cell network, all kinds of stuff. But we'll talk more about that later as as the months go on and more information comes out, we'll do like periodic updates. But how we met, yes. Tina found me and loved me at the end. No, Tina and I met. So Tina was done with her master's. I was working. And there's a restaurant there called Taco del Sol. Great Mexican food restaurant. It's an express, kind of set up like Subway. You get your Subway sandwiches, but it's for Mexican food. It's really good. It's like a Chipotle, a Qdoba. I think it's better quality.
Yeah.
Way better. I didn't say that, but yeah. Yeah. Hey, you've never had it. What do you mean, yeah? But no, we met in Montana. I was sitting in there eating. She was sitting there eating. I just got dumped by my ex. She got dumped by her ex. Neither one of us knew this because we didn't know each other. And I was sitting in a corner and she was sitting up front. And I was like, you know what? She's cute. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to sit down and try and talk with her. She's going to shut me down and I'm going to go home and feel sorry for myself. Might even have a drink and I'm going to feel sorry for myself. No, I sit down and she like looks at me in her African way. Like, what do you want? And you had your like wild poofy hair then too.
Yeah.
She had the wild hair. I hadn't tamed her yet. She was a free range Ghanaian. She was free from her last relationship, like a chicken that's escaped the coop and starts dancing. And then here comes this guy to come and lock her back down again and put her in the coop. But no, I actually have a photo one of the first times that we did meet where she took my food. She ate my food. I don't remember what we were having. It might have been burritos, might have been nachos. It was something. No, but so the actual first meeting after that, she came over to my house, and I lived in like a little studio in a basement of a.
So you didn't finish with the taco de sol.
Yeah, I sat down. We talked. You stole my food. We exchanged numbers, and then we went our separate ways. And then I texted you later.
Yeah.
And so there's the past version. So our first date, Tina comes over to my house, and I'm in a tiny studio. I mean, you could bounce a ball off the wall and only one bounce and it's back to you. Okay. It was a nice studio.
Yeah,
For what it was,
nice.
it was nice. It was a remodeled old historic hotel from like the old cowboy days.
Oh, seriously, someone in New York would love to have that place.
Oh, they would they would do a $500,000 $1 million upgrade because the elevator didn't work. If you wanted to get, we had a friends up on the fourth floor.
The
elevator didn't work. Oh yeah, it was actually good. I mean, I could even see a single mother in there with an infant, not a full grown child, but an infant being good. And it stayed warm, all utilities included for $450 a month. I was a single guy, right on. So now Tina comes over for the first date, and she grabs a chair and she sits like as close to the door without running out the door as possible, like this. Is he gonna kill me, kidnap me, or feed me? And then we briefly talked. I think we walked downtown to Pita Pit, which is another type of business that has like pita bread. So she relaxed a little that we were out in public and she could escape for this possible serial killer. But by the actual official date when she came over, I think about 2 weeks later, you were busy with work and I got busy too. I was working a lot of overtime, 14, 15-hour days on some days, mostly 10 to 12. Different story. Um, no, she came over, and it was during COVID. So I think really COVID had just got hammered in and really kind of locked down at that point. And we were right on that borderline when COVID was coming out. So places started shutting down and not letting people in. So we did a date in again at my house. She didn't want me to go see her house. If I was a deranged serial killer, I wouldn't know where she lived. So she brings over Ghanaian food. You brought like jollof rice, bangku. No, that was the second time.
The first one was bangku.
No, she brought over red sauce.
Oh, okay.
She admits later that she made the red sauce extra hot to burn me at the wedding. I made it extra hot to burn him to see if he could tolerate me. If he didn't like my food, I didn't want him. This comes out years later at the wedding. So the extra spicy bangku to burn the possible serial killer. She could throw it at me and run away. And yeah, it was like jollof rice, red sauce. I forget what else you made. That all went good. We kind of sat at my little bar counter, briefly talked. You were there for a couple hours. We were talking. We left. We had a date. I think got as fast as like a week later. She was really taking off fast. Like, ooh, I like this guy. Let's see if I can burn him again. No, she didn't burn me this time. She made bangku. With the full okra stew, everything was good. And we washed our hands, like scrubbed them down. I wasn't working automotive. I was in online grocery. So I scrubbed down my hands really good now. I've been dealing with customers all day. She's been out in the dirty fields all day. We ate bonk, 3-fingered. Yum. And then that's when we really started talking, like a 4-hour talk. I mean, you stayed over late. Third date, I think, was the following weekend, if I recall. As I had time off, you had time off for like 3 days. So she comes over Friday night. Did we order? We didn't order a pizza that night. I forgot. No, we did order a pizza that night.
I was tired from work. I ate all the pizza.
She ate all the pizza. I order a large pizza, which is like 8 big slices, fully loaded pizza. And by now she's getting kind of comfortable. You've already met Ruth then. You knew that, okay, another girl knows him. Maybe he's not as big of a killer as he might be a small killer, but not a big killer. He may not kill me. He may include me in his plot. Okay, cool. But no, we order this pizza. It shows up. Okay, we're both starving, tired. I think that was like my 12, 14-hour day. Been up since like 2:30 in the morning. Worked like from 5 to 7. It was a long day. And that's when the weather really started setting in too. So it was cold outside. Thank you. She would happy. Love stories are just the best. I wish you both many happy years ago. Thank you.
What's a sweet story? Love all over her body language.
So the pizza story gets the pizza shows up, smells good, we're both starving. All right. I'm gonna take a quick shower. I mean, what if she was a killer and she would have killed me in the shower? I mean, I have nothing on. I am defenseless. I have a bar of soap I can throw at her, and that's about it. But no, so take a shower really quick, come back out 5-10 minutes later. Over half the pizza's gone. And she's going back for another slice.
That was hungry.
And then she was like, don't tell people this story. They'll think I have like an eating problem, like I just eat too much and I just eat. It's not proper Ghana etiquette. Don't tell them the story. So yeah, and then I think that was the night you actually stayed over. You were just exhausted.
I slept after
she crashed out like a rock.
That's on your couch. And I woke up like, God, did I sleep in someone's house?
Big no for the African communities. You're not married. You better not fall asleep there. If they whack you and knock you out, you better not fall asleep. But you actually came back the very next night.
Yeah.
We had a good movie night. We'd been rested. I went out, did stuff. She went home, re-straightened herself out, packed a bag, and she actually stayed overnight. Did not tell her parents. Yeah. Hi, Mama. Hi, Dad. Stayed the night. Yes, we slept in the same bed. Nothing like that. But no, she was a little bit more nervous falling asleep. She's like sleeping with one eye open. Like, okay, I'm in the bed. Is he gonna do anything? I will pretend I'm sleeping. But by Saturday, you stayed like all 3 nights. By Saturday night, she went out like a rock, kind of cuddled up to me a little bit. Oh,
proposed before.
that was before you moved to South Dakota.
Yeah.
We'll get there eventually. I'll kind of speed this along. So we're dating off and on, and not really dating. We're friends, because you wouldn't say
Yeah.
yes. I asked her if she would date me. No, I'm free now. I'm a free range chicken. I'm free range. I'm not gonna get locked down. I'm not gonna say yes. Every time she would come over, I'd be like, "So, have you decided?" She's like, "Chris," because she had a real thick Ghanaian accent still. She wasn't Americanized yet. Everything was, "Chris, I don't know."
Yeah, I just didn't want to start any relationship. And then also, I had to ask my parents because, like, I didn't want to start any relationship that was not going to lead to marriage. So, Nana,
Yep, a free range.
Nana,
She's not a cooped up
do
chicken.
you remember Nana Belkwe? He was our MC at our wedding. Thank you, Nana, for joining. So yeah, I didn't want to say yes without even asking my parents if they are okay me.
You didn't even let them know you even had a boy that was a friend.
Yeah, I didn't want to start anything before, like I wanted to let them ask them if they are okay with me getting married to a foreigner because
Or dating.
because that had never even popped up in my mind, like getting married to a
No,
foreigner.
that's a different Nana.
Oh, okay.
Hello, new Nana.
Oh, okay.
Welcome.
That's
Welcome.
it.
Hi,
Okay.
Nana.
So I kind of, how do I say it? I have to ask my parents if they are okay with me getting married to a foreigner because I've been in a relationship for 7 years which didn't go well. So
That's a story for a different day.
that's a story
That's a
for a
long
different
story.
day. So I didn't want to just enter into another relationship that would not lead to anything. Okay, so I was kind of skeptical also. So
So now that we've had multiple dates, I think it was around Thanksgiving. I mean, it'd been a long time. We've been back and forth, back and forth.
Got to meet some of your
Friends. We went up to Ruth's parents' ranch, like 10 miles outside, a beautiful ranch, hundreds of acres. Got to meet mutual friends to know he's not a killer. Yeah. Mutual friends that would vouch for me. I know. So I asked Tina out before we drive out to Ruth's ranch for Thanksgiving dinner with her family. When I say ranch in Little, I mean there's no signal. We're between two giant mountain ranges. PhD in relationship, 7 long years. Oh wow. You 7 years? Or have we been 7 years?
No, she was telling me like
Oh, PhD. Okay.
me
Gotcha.
being in a relationship.
Gotcha. Yeah, so no, she didn't have her PhD then. You were still working on your master's.
No, I was done with my master's.
When
so
he
I
dumped you.
think yeah, so I was done with my master's when we end the relationship ended. Almost
Adriel's running in place here. Adriel's running.
Yeah. So yeah, I was done with my master's when the relationship ended. But it was I don't know, I'll talk about this sometime.
Yeah, well, that she'll save that for a special live stream.
Yeah.
So no, now jump forward. So we're going out to Thanksgiving dinner. She says yes.
No, I think I say yes.
You told me yes
Okay.
when we were leaving because we
Yeah.
had announced it there. Remember?
Okay. Yeah.
So long drive outside of town. Dark, scary road. If you are not familiar, it's very dangerous road, like single lane dirt road.
Nana said, "I meant you date for 7 years." That's more like a PhD.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll also talk about my PhD sometime. I used 3 years. I told myself I'm not going more than 3 years with a PhD. So I used 3 years to complete it. And that was I guess I just couldn't have done it without you because
We'll talk about the later. That's gonna be a long topic all in itself. The relationship will be a separate video and the PhD. Huge video. But no, so we're at her ranch. We let everybody know, hey, Tina agreed to date me, and they're all happy, cheering. And then Tina, just like they're like, everyone pose, and Tina's already like in front of me, and so she kind of like kneels down to like talk to me. It's kind of a small kitchen, and she's laughing, and Ruth is taking pictures. Yeah, and I can post this picture one day. Yeah. And it's a great and horrible timing. She's bent over like this in my lap laughing. You all know where I'm going with this. It looked wrong. Happy Thanksgiving. There's Tina. Yeah, you all know where that was going. The picture looks like it's something bad. She was
Yeah.
just timing went down, laughing came out, and then
Yeah, Ruth
we
is
have the
just
whole compilation of pictures to prove
yeah,
this.
Ruth is just something else.
And of course, that's the one that Ruth pulls up. Look what I found.
Yeah, but she's a very good friend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she is.
yes. Um, but no, so now we're kind of winding down where she's like, I'm done with my master's, my internship's almost done. I don't know what to do. I'm like, why don't you apply for a PhD program, find something? She applied to many places, Bozeman in Montana, a few other places, and then she got an invite from a professor for SDSU. I'm like, that you have an invite for free school plus a stipend. I'm like, that's like a $250,000 program plus a stipend. You need to take it and go. She's like, but what about us? I'm like, well, we have some options. We can split up. So I'll say the bad one first. You go your way, I go mine. Love you. Good luck. Stay in contact. We'll never have anything else. Or the other one is as well, I can't move right away. I have to get my job going, chance to save up some money to move. I'd be able to move around the summertime. And then I can go, but I'm not going to go as a boyfriend. You have to marry me. So you have to agree to marry me, and then we'll get a quick little paper wedding. So there was no ceremonies, nothing. It was just go to the courthouse, sign on paper to get stuff going because no one was doing anything during COVID. So that's what we did. Tina left for South Dakota. Ruth actually drove her out there.
Yeah, I had to think about it while in South Dakota. If I'm
You,
going back to
well,
him or
you
not.
thought about it for a couple days. I mean, you thought about it pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to think about it.
And it was at that time when she said yes that she's like, well, you have to meet my parents then.
Yeah.
She had mentioned me to it was a quick hi, how are you, bye thing. I talked to her brother more. But when she agreed to it, we didn't even tell them right away. But like, well, I want you to really talk with my mom and dad. And I talked with her dad for like 30 to 45 minutes about a lot of stuff we had in common.
Yeah.
And Tina's like, hey, give me back my phone. What are you two doing getting along so well? Tina got jealous. Yeah. But no, so Tina leaves. I'm still there. And of course, I'm thinking like, she's just going to dump me like all the other girls. She said she'd marry me, whatever. No, I send her some money each month, support her. She flies back for your fundraiser for the well. Like a month or two later, she stays at my place, obviously. Goes back, came back again over the summertime to sign the wedding stuff. We got married. We got May 24th. Yeah. Oh gosh, 2020. Yeah, I don't want to say the actual ceremony date by accident. 2020, May 24th. And then we went camping. We have some great camping photos. My upstairs neighbors, Cam and David, our friend Ruth, and then I forget what the other guy's name was. It was a friend of Cam and David's. Yeah, we all went camping for like a day or two out at Weiser, like 2 hours outside of the nearest cell signal in the middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere in a mountain range. It's an old ghost town. Really cool.
That was kind of our honeymoon.
Yep. Our legal honeymoon.
Yeah. Hey.
Huh? I hope you all caught that. Hey, huh? I'm coughing here. So now when I had my work transfer in, I left July 5th or 6th. This is right after my last 4th of July in Butte, Montana. I drove out Volkswagen Golf, and my friend Ruth with her SUV. I sold everything that wouldn't fit. My beautiful bed. No. Yeah, my bed, brand new couch. I brought my TV. I'm not selling that. Hello. 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 Welcome. We're just talking about now our relationship. Good. Yes. Good morning to you. Good evening to us. 8 hours ahead in Dubai, which is like a state. It's an emirate. It's not a country. We had a long discussion about that today. Go ahead and look at that video. Amazing story. Thank you for sharing with us. African women are just oh yes, most definitely. Tina and I have like 100% trusting relationship, no issues. like that. Like she can have friends that are guys, we can have friends that are girls. No trust issues. So no, I move out to South Dakota, and then yeah, we planned for the wedding. I was working. We'll have a detailed video on all that. Again, her PhD and all that, and me supporting her. But no, she graduated. I'll fast forward so we have an actual content for video next time. You know, we're there for 3 years, 2 different homes, no Adriel yet. We had our wedding, um, big wedding. It was stressful and fun and stressful. And then now we're here. Now that she's graduated, we're in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Um, I have a job here. She has one. She's working for a great engineering company. And it's a long process. For those of you that don't know, even though you get your PhD, no different than a doctor, a medical doctor graduating medical school. They need their internships, fellowships, residencies, and all that. She needs her licensing, which takes years. So this company bar is a great company. She wants to stay with them for a long time. They help you get her licensing. That can take up to 5 years. It's no different than like in a trade, like a electrician or a plumber. You have your schooling, then you have your basic licensing, and then you start moving it from basic licensing to your intermediate, to your master's, stuff like that. She has to do the exact same thing. And this company is willing to help her do that, which is really, really nice. And so with her working, and now I'm going back to work for my paternity leave in like 3 weeks. I'm working for a great company. We're just kind of going along like that and trying to learn new things. If you notice our page creation date, we created the page a while ago, but really didn't do anything with it. When Adriel was born, like, we'll make it into a family page. So that's kind of what we did. In 3 months, we've got about 1,000 followers now. It's kind of going any direction. No, he wants formula. Don't do that.
Doesn't like water.
Give him formula.
He's getting hiccups.
I know, but you want food. I know you want food, shower, and bed. Come on, honey. He's at the same routine.
I know.
So we're slowly getting little sips of water every couple weeks to introduce him to it. Yeah. So if everyone just, I mean, for us making this page is going to be, our family and posting videos and content and trying to get, followers. And, as we're able to monetize it, we're not monetizing it for self-interest. We have good jobs. I mean, what we want to do is use our social media pages to fund our projects, building wells in countries and in towns and villages that need wells. She's already built 2 drinking water wells to specify. They're very expensive. I mean, upwards of $10,000 for a good well that'll last a long time. So she already has 2. And then she has her team lead that she wants to do. And I support her. And I mean, what I want to do is more stuff that I can kind of do in person locally. So if, we can pull money aside and raise it for like the Christmas toy drives for kids, maybe for a Christmas we can buy, our first year we make some good funding off this. I can buy 100 bicycles for, needy kids. Maybe the next year we get even more money. We can buy 500 bicycles, just kind of giving back to our communities in need and communities that we are into. So that's kind of where we're going with these pages. That's why we need followers and people to share, be active, give us ideas for story content. So we're kind of learning right along with you. We use StreamYard to stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. If you want to collaborate with us on here, if you look at our last live video that we did earlier in the day, with StreamYard, we can have guests on there, and up to 2 guests can actively share to their page as if they are the one streaming. So we did that today. The Inwisso family and ourselves were both actively streaming, so it looked like with their followers that they were streaming live, with our followers that we were streaming live, but it merged them. Merged comments, merged everything through StreamYard. So we can have 2 active streamers with us, as well as 6 total guests. Unless if we went to like a business package, then it changes. But for the package we're at now, that's what we can do. So if you want to be on here with us, share your stories, have interactive feedback. We had a great discussion today. If you guys want to go check that out about Dubai and touring there and visas to go visit. It's a great, great video. then we can do that. So if you want to collaborate with us on there and do some joint stuff, we're willing to do that. And we also want to get Adriel his page to kind of go over stuff for new parents, expecting parents, just in general stuff that we found that works, good toys, good clothing, which is huge, stuff you can pass down from generation to generation, kid to kid. Even little products like when I installed that baby gate video. I want to try and do those as much live as I can. I want to go back to work. It'll be harder, but I want to do them live. Just know that all my reviews are not scripted. It's not like I'm getting ideas. I'm going to type into a little chat box and tell me what to say, and poof, there you go. No, I'm going to either install something live or do it live so you can see, one, how difficult it is. That gate was kind of a pain as I was explaining through it. But it's a great gate once it's installed. It can withstand over 100 pounds of impact force from, and obviously an infant's not going to be generating that. But like toy reviews, reviews of Adriel clothes, I mean, it's all going to be original content, very minimal editing if there's background noise and stuff, or if I need to cut something out to save on time, and definitely not scripted. So if you want a good, honest review, we're going to be starting that soon too. Actually, I already have his YouTube account created. It's just hidden and not active yet. There's nothing on there. And we're going to get a page. Yeah, and then as for our main family YouTube account, which I'm streaming to now, as well as my Facebook page, it's kind of plateaued at 240 people for like a month now. We do shorts, we do videos, kind of the same thing we're doing now. It's just not really going anywhere. So if you have any ideas about what to do with that, please let us know. Again, like, share, and subscribe. And then the other programs we have on the bottom here: Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Those obviously are not streaming live too. We do post stuff on there, share stuff. So do look out for that if you are on there. But our two main focusing, or three main focusing, will be Facebook, YouTube, and third is Instagram. Only reason I say Instagram is third, shout out to all the Instagram followers, is the StreamYard does not let us stream to it live in our program the same way that it does to YouTube and Facebook. That's between them and Instagram. Nothing to do with us. So that's why. But yeah, so this is our page. This is what we're going to be doing. There's a notice up in the corner, over here. My camera's oriented there. Custom logo. So I made one for us, and the Inwisso family, I made a custom one for them, and Life of Dee Dee. So the family page has a secondary page, Life of Dee Dee, D-I-D-I. I made her a little custom one too. So if you have a page like Winnie and Family, if you want to send me an idea, some snippets of logo ideas, I make all these on my phone with free apps. I like doing it. So if you're like, hey, I want these kind of colors, send me a few pictures kind of like this, I can try and figure something out. It's not like a full Photoshop where I can wrap text and all that. But I've been figuring it out. So if anyone wants stuff like that, just kind of shoot me a message, some ideas. And as I can get to stuff, I'll help you guys out too. Maybe we can collaborate someday. Exactly. I mean, again, with the active live sharing, it's not like it just gives one person's page the active views. We have to, constantly tell people go over to this page to watch it. No, you're actively streaming from both pages. So it's literally equal collaboration. A really cool thing is we found out that, let's say our page had 5 active people viewing and theirs had 10, it's a 15 total up in the upper view thing. So that's really cool. So you're able to see the actual active people, and it combine both comments onto one side so both people can respond to them at the same time. Hey, buddy. He's hungry.
I know, but the thing is leaking for some reason.
Just open it and reclose it. Husband knows magic.
Yeah, we can collaborate, Winnie.
That
would be awesome. We are looking to talk about Cameroon. So if you have anything, like any tourist areas that people can visit in Cameroon,
or if she also wants to talk about like her fundraising and business she wants to start there. I mean, starting a school is absolutely amazing, and I think also be really cool about collaborating with Tina's experience with team lead. And getting ideas that you can use, maybe help get kids there, get them engaged, sharing ideas back and forth to be really good work. And let's say if, Tina has excess funds and she wants to know where to build a well, let's say you're in Cameroon and you're in a smaller village that needs a well, you're like, hey, Tina, found a great spot for you? What do you think? So I think it could be really
Yeah, it
beneficial
will be
in the
good.
long run
Yeah,
too.
in the long run. I know it's going to be very difficult. I should tell you the truth. The fundraising is not easy. I remember having when I'm having teen lead programs. So with teen lead, that is my nonprofit for mentoring and coaching teenagers. So with that one, I have to always do fundraising for those to be able to organize the in-person conferences. We have a team in Ghana who go on grounds for those conferences, and we focus on villages in Ghana, the very remote areas in Ghana. So imagine someone who has lived all his or her life in the city and then going to that village. Like I know some of our facilitators or the guests that we invited, some of them were kind of in a shock in our during our last conference that was last year because they just couldn't imagine people were living that kind of life in those villages. And that is what we are trying to make people understand that yes, these people are living in those remote villages. They have no idea of what is going on in the country. And then we have these rich kids who are attending the private schools, given good material to study, they have good learning environments, but then at the end, they all have to sit to write the same final exams before they will be allowed to go to the senior high school. So in Ghana and most parts of Africa, we have this basic education exams that you have to write in junior high school before you'll be able to go to senior high school. And in the senior high school, we have the West Africa examination, WAEC, that you are supposed to write before you go to the university. So just imagine you living all your life in these remote areas, and then you are asked to go and sit down and write an exam with someone who has lived all her life in the city, who has the good learning environment, the materials that is needed for their studies. Just imagine. So that is what we are trying to do to create the awareness and then also help these kids in the rural areas. It's been very difficult. We need to raise money. I've been using GoFundMe with my team,
And pulling money out of your own pocket
and
too.
then I pull money from my own pocket too, most of the times. And then we also contact our mentors or people we have invited to come on our platform virtually to talk about their professions. So these are some of the things we are doing. But then, as I said earlier, I just need time to be able to get back to it because right now I need to focus on my family. God knows I have done a lot for community service. So for now, I need to focus on the family and hopefully. So as Chris said, our main objective of creating these our social media platforms is to be able to one day monetize it when we are able to get more followers or more people to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we'll be paid, and then we'll be able to use those monies to support the nonprofit organization and then also be able to build our wells, drinking water wells for villages, and
And
then
even
create,
funding other
yeah,
projects too,
yeah, and then
like let's say we had excess funds and we wanted to fund your school program. Let's say we can make a $5,000 donation for that year or something. If we had excess funds, a lot of excess funds. So we're always looking out to do stuff like that too. I'll DM you guys tomorrow if that's okay. Great idea. National. All right, exactly. Thank
yeah,
you.
exactly. You can DM us that we really need people to collaborate with. Yeah. So we are struggling to create content because I think
We also kind of out of ideas sometimes too. Then we
yeah,
get busy with Adriel, like we're like, all right, we're gonna go live. Suddenly Adriel starts screaming, wants something, and then we can't go live.
yeah.
And then
So
with us going back to work,
work it will be
there's be a
kind of
lot of individual lives for a
yeah.
while, and then maybe on days we can have some with both of us on there.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is long as we've had consistent people on here in one
Yeah.
night, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
When we stream here a lot, it's in the afternoon, so a lot of our followers are in
In
different African
Ghana.
countries or even in a few in UK, so they're already asleep. We don't really have a lot of stateside followers that come on outside from maybe some private family members, but
Yeah.
that's about it. Yeah, so this is our page, and maybe on our next live stream, maybe we can do over the weekend. We'll do it earlier in the day, not so late.
Yeah.
And then we might even be able to do two that day, maybe one morning, one evening. So we'll go over your PhD with me supporting you. And then what did you want to do for the other video? What was another
That was Ruth and Derek's one.
We could do that if you want.
Yeah, talking about security stuff. Yeah, Winnie said I will help you with some tips too, but overall just be yourself. Yeah, like we are just before we started this page, we told ourselves this is what we are going to do. We are not going to pretend.
Yeah, nothing fake.
Nothing fake. We are not going to pretend. We are just going to be ourselves because you can't pretend for a long time. No, you cannot do that. And looking at our long-term plan, we are going to have this page for a long time. So we cannot pretend. We just have to be ourselves.
Yeah. That's why, again, a lot of my stuff's gonna be unedited, like raw content, essentially, not scripted by any means. Now there are a few things like I'll give everybody a heads up. I have a video coming out with me cooking a really good dish last night. So I purposely kind of filmed it in sections so I can, edit stuff down into one video, like a 3-minute video of cooking the total meal. Just kind of showing what goes into it. I don't have measurements. I'm going African style on this. I'll show you what's in it though.
You don't want to learn that habit from me.
Now I'll tell you what measurements are in the actual comments, or maybe I'll put something up on the screen. And then I'm gonna have like a 30-second video of the final product, kind of like assembling it, so just like it's being built up. But yeah, so I'll got a lot of editing to do there. Maybe I can start on it tomorrow at some point. Gosh, his face is so funny. She barely touches the bottle to his face, and he goes.
Good night, Winnie. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're going to be jumping off here.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining our live and all your comments and all your suggestions.
Thank you,
Winnie. And nice meeting you. Yeah, virtually.
Exactly. We'll have to meet live sometime on here.
Yeah.
But everyone, I think that's going to be a wrap. The baby's asleep. We still got to wake him up real quick and go give him a shower. Yeah, and I have to go to work tomorrow. She has work. So thank you for joining us, and remember to like, follow, comment, subscribe, and give us any ideas. Have a good night. Good night.